Hello everybody. Right, this is one for Ashley Williams. It's kind of an important one, I suppose. He said, how much does it cost to start on the CX? The truth of the matter is with that one, it's a little bit like how long's a piece of string. It can cost, you can get it done on a shoestring, or you can get it done the luxury premium version. So firstly, you've got to work out, you've got to compartmentalise it. So what do you need to run on the CX? You need a van, you need insurance for the van, you need the CX itself, and you need enough money to run until the money starts to come in. And that kind of isn't it. So as for a van, you can pick a van up at £2,000. You can pick up a little small van or something like that that's reasonably tidy, that might do the trick. Alternatively, if you want to go for a box luton with a tail lift, or a curtain luton with a tail lift, which I recommend, you could spend, I spent 10 on my van, and that was reasonable. It was a Sprinter because I wanted a Sprinter. I wanted a curtain side, but I couldn't get one. But I got a box luton. It had done about 170,000 miles. It was really well maintained. It was fine. That was enough for me. But like I say, depending on which way you want to go. I always say that I've done one on vans. Get the best van you can afford for the money. You might go, I want a luton, and then there might be a van on there, and it might be a long wheelbase, but it might be super pristine and a super good price. And think, you know what? I'll have that one, and then I'll see how it goes. I might be happy in that long wheelbase. Might jump into a luton later. You can always change it at a later date. Then you've got to do your insurance on the van. For the insurance on the van, you need the actual van cab itself, which is either hire and reward or light haulage. If light haulage is considerably cheaper, go for light haulage, because what we really are is light haulage. You know, you pick up a couple of pallets, take them there, do it 2 or 3 times a day. Hire and reward insurance is more like what you need for your Amazon mob or your Argos mob, where they're dropping 20, 30, 40 parcel force, 40, 50 things a day. That's not really us. But then again, if it's only going to be like another 50 quid a year dearer, you may as well get the hire and reward and cover yourself. Then you need goods in transit. That's not dear. That's only about 100 quid. They normally, the people that will offer you the van insurance will offer you the hire and reward at the same time. So you got your van, you got your insurance. Then you approach the CX. CX membership, I'm not sure what it is. They offer deals all the time. I joined a long time ago, and now we're on a bigger one. But when I joined, it was around, I think I got £600 for the year, but that was a few years ago now. I think it's about £600 for about 6 months. Sometimes they'll give you a month free. Mention my name, they might give you a month free. If they offer me the free month, tell them Peter doesn't want it, he wants to give you the free month, they never give me it anyway. Just ring them up, find out what deal's going on at the time, get the best one you can. Sometimes you might get 9 months for the price of 6. You know, it really does depend on the time. The price seems to vary. But if you factor in around 600 quid for at least 6 months, you're fine. And then it's the cost of running. Now, you really want to be able to cover your bills for about the first couple of months. So you need to have enough money, enough scratch behind you, enough money in the bank, or an overdraft, or you get a credit card, because it's going to be that time before the money starts to roll in. Alternatively, if you can, and you look like you're going to be turning over a reasonable amount of money, try and get yourself a factoring company. So it really is how long's a piece of string. I mean, if you live in your mum and dad, or you've got no exes whatsoever, or your mortgage is paid and you've got a few quid in the bank, you want to get, you could potentially get started on the CX. And you've got cheap insurance because you've got no name clothes bonus, and you're sort of in your 50s and you live in a rural area, you could get it started for as little as £3,000. I would say you're looking at more like, to get yourself a decent van, geez, that's noisy. Get yourself a decent van, a few quid behind you, I don't know, 10 to 15. I'd say you can lean on friends as well. You might say your brother, your uncle, that I'm going to get this invoice, he's going to pay me tomorrow. Can you know, it's getting that ball rolling. It's like pushing that great big ball, but once it starts to roll, it starts to roll. So sorry I can't be more specific about it, but there's just too many imponderables. It depends on so many things. I've had people saying, I'm getting insurance quotes for £4,000 or £5,000. Insurance could cost you £1,700 a year. It could cost you £5,000 a year. It could cost you £10,000 a year. It depends on your points and where you live and your age and all that kind of stuff. But I would say the first thing to do, start asking some questions. Start going, right, I'm going to look on Auto Trader to see how much vans are, what they are local to me. I'm going to ring the CX, find out what deals they're offering at the moment. I'm going to have a look at that van, and I'm going to ring it. I use Business Choice Direct, I highly recommend them. They're lovely. Ring a couple of insurance people, see how much insurance would be on that van. I'm going to talk to a couple of people, talk to the bank. You know, do your research. It's not too tricky. It could be an afternoon's worth of phone calls, give you a better idea, but you basically need You need like 4 things. You need the van, you need the insurance, you need the CX, and you need enough money to cover you to run until the invoices start to roll in. Mate, hope that helps. In the meantime, work to do. I've got to. Take care and take money.